Hello and good morning, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to another edition of Jays Latest. I'm your host, Craig Borden, and we're going to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays baseball. So if you like that, make sure you hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons. So, wow, that escalated quickly yesterday for the Toronto Blue Jays at the end of this game as they went marching to their series sweep of the Baltimore Orioles and currently the best record in American League, period. 87-62 after the win 11-2 yesterday against the Baltimore Orioles at the Skydome. The Blue Jays, like I said, came out a little slow out of the box, but as this game continued to go and go and go, they found more offense, and the bullpen and everybody did a amazing job. It was a great team win. Let's start this off with things that went properly right off of the bat. Shane Bieber picks up his third win of the Toronto Blue Jays season. Very young season for him, being, just coming back from Tommy John and all that kind of good stuff. But he is looking incredible. Cannot say enough good things about Shane Bieber at this point. 6 innings of work, 4 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run, and 5 strikeouts. The only real big ding to his whole day is that Kobe Mayo, for the second day in a row, hit a home run. But this one, it was to lead off some of the game a little bit in the second inning. Got an early lead for the Baltimore Orioles, and I guess technically this counts as another comeback win, but I don't like it. But it is what it is. But the Blue Jays dug out of that hole very quickly, and then through the third all the way to the seventh inning, they scored at least 1 run in each inning. It was just wild. The offense just kind of kept the wheel moving, churned, stir the pot if you want to go 2015 team mannerisms. But once again, man in the middle of it, George Springer. He was the catalyst that scored the first Blue Jay run, a double to the gap. Scores Andres Jimenez, gets the Blue Jays tied up 1-1, and then the Blue Jays just kept coming from that point on. George Springer had an amazing game. Want to call that out first before we dive too far into it. Yes, he was the one that kicked this thing off. He is now batting .303 on the season after another 3-for-5 performance. 2 runs scored, 2 ribbies, because this also included another home run, which is now his 29th of the season. Yes, 29th of the season. Sorry, I was looking at doubles. I was like, that doesn't sound right. But to that point, he had 2 doubles yesterday. So all 3 of his hits were monster extra base hits and timely extra base hits. Led the Blue Jays in offense for yesterday. Addison Barger also ended up collecting 3 RBIs along with Ernie Clement. And that was because this team just kept coming and pouring it on. Lots of sauce on the wings last night for football, right? But Bieber was incredible. Springer is just insanely good. Let's talk how this offense just continued to rifle through this rotation, bullpen, whatever the heck you want to call it, for yesterday for the Baltimore Orioles. Ernie Clement, I would have never guessed he has 30 doubles on the season, but guess what? Ernie Clement has 30 doubles on the season. Picks up on that double, 2 runs scored in the bottom of the fourth. Alejandro Kirk and Dalton Varsho come along to score that out. In the 6th inning, with some runners on, Joey Loperfido continuing to come up big in whatever role he happens to fit into. His 4th double in the left center field splits the gap and scores Ernie Clement for the 5th run of this game. The Orioles get another run back with a really crazy, I can't believe it went out, opposite field home run by Colton Cowser. It was off of Louis Varland. I think it just had the velocity off of the bat and gone. So continuing things on, bases are loaded in the 7th, and this is where the Blue Jays really extended it out. Bases loaded, a monster opposite field double by Addison Barger, his 30th of the campaign, scores Lucas, Springer, and Vladdy to clear the bases, and fun times. And then right after that, it just kept going and going. The Orioles could not stop it. Kirky drives in Barger. Now he's on base. Ernie Clement, same thing, singles. Eventually scores Tyler Heineman, who came in to pinch hit. Then why not? Joey Loperfido again puts another one. It was just a little ground out, but it scores Dalton Varsho in the process. Blue Jays eventually win 11-2. Wow. Crazy, crazy. So, in case you're living under a rock, you haven't heard, the Blue Jays called up, or are calling up officially today, Trey Yesavage to be the starter. So there was plenty of coverage yesterday between him and talking out what he wants to do and all that kind of good stuff. All the pitchers were asked, "Hey, what's your advice for Yesavage for his MLB debut?" Because the Blue Jays are heading down to Tampa to play in Steinbrenner Field. Yeah, I know it still sounds weird, but Steinbrenner Field being the home to the Rays, the minor league ballpark that I'm probably sure that Yesavage has pitched in so far at some point this year, but I don't know if they have any in minor league there at all this year. It's not like it's sharing the complex, so maybe I'm wrong. Him only being in the minors in the one season. But Yesavage will be pitching in a ballpark that is honestly not a big jump from what he was pitching in Triple A. Been in that ballpark before. It is a launch pad, however. So watch out for Junior Caminaro, who has been using that to his full advantage. Caminaro is probably easily the Rookie of the Year candidate for the American League. But Yesavage, wow, has he been having a meteoric rise. Went through and touched all levels of the Blue Jays minor league system. He will be pitching in his 5th level, being a Major League Baseball player as he makes his debut tonight. Most recently, he pitched 17 innings in Buffalo, New York for the Bisons. He has a 3.63 ERA in those, and 4 of those were starts. Some of them were bullpens. But the crazier thing on that whole thing is the fact that he just has found ways to get strikeouts completely. So in those 17 innings, he was striking out 26 batters. I don't know if the plan is to bring him up and just let him use as a bullpen arm, or if they're going to continue stretching him out as a starter. I think right now it's a don't rock the boat situation, and he's been getting good innings as a starter more than anything. But through his collective minor league baseball season, he's thrown 98 innings, and he has 160 strikeouts. So the biggest thing that the Blue Jays are getting out of having Yesavage is a person that can swing and get some bats to miss. Nobody barrels him up. But it is pretty cool to see somebody like this and just a very win now move for the Toronto Blue Jays. There has not been a Ray announced, and it might be a bullpen day for them, so that would be too funny that the Blue Jays get to face 2 teams in a row, 2 days in a row, that are both having bullpen days. So make sure you tune back in here for all things latest here on Jay's Latest, and we'll talk all things Blue Jays, and we will talk to you soon. Hope you have a great day, and go Blue Jays.